Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to show you a set of press-ons that I have created using Madam Glam gel polishes and perfect white and gold, and also some Sharpie markers. I use blue, yellow, and pink. So first you're going to see me putting on a coat of white perfect gel polish from Madam Glam. Now, before I did all this, or before me applying the gel, of course I prepped the press-ons, cut them and shaped them to my length and my liking. And so yes, I'm applying a thin layer of white gel polish. And I think I only stick to one coating due to the fact that I will be doing some marbling for these press-ons, and one coat of white white gel is enough. Okay, so right here I am putting it in the lamp as I do my first coat on my second hand. And so yeah, just keep on watching. So pretty much when they came out the lamp, I put 30 seconds for the gel to dry on my lamp, and that's pretty much all I need. Then I use 100% acetone. I put it in my dapping dish and a small thin brush. You can pretty much use any brush that you want. And I started making the lines on the press-ons, as you can see that I'm doing here. I'm sorry for my voice, I'm a little stuffy. So yeah, I started out with yellow, and then I put some lines of blue, very only a few, because blue tends to overpower every single color that I put on there with Sharpies. I don't even use black on the nails anymore, due to the fact that the blue is so strong, and it almost acts like a black eventually when I start blending it in. And so I use my brush and a little bit of acetone. I do not drench the brush in acetone. It's just a little bit, and then I start working it up and down on the sides, and start blending in the colors together with the acetone. Now I say use it very lightly, because if you use a lot of acetone, it will start messing up the white gel polish on the bottom, obviously, because it's pretty strong. The 100% is pretty strong. Some people use alcohol. For some reason, it does not work for me. It doesn't give me the blend that I want. And I do work a lot faster when it comes with the acetone. It starts blending in pretty fast. And so I'm adding orange. I pretty much had made a set like this before, and I didn't write down the colors that I actually used. So I'm kind of going off the top of my head of what colors I think I might have used. Sometimes you start out with certain colors and then they end up being different colors, obviously, because the more you blend, the more you put acetone, the more the colors change depending on what colors you're using on the nail. And so yeah, I pretty much just went by what I see. And then I just keep blending and blending, adding more and more acetone, just tiny bits of it, of course, and then just kept blending it up and down. If I saw certain parts of the nail that were missing a certain color, I would add a color that would maybe turn into the color that I wanted to turn. I mean, it's pretty much what you think it might turn out to be. Like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. But here I noticed that I was missing a lot of yellow, so I started putting more yellow. And sometimes the orange starts looking yellow as well. So yeah, I just kind of like winged it, and hopefully I came out with the ending result that I had in my first previous set. Um, so yeah, I'm just blending in more and more. I did have a little bit of a hard time. Usually I can do these a lot faster. But again, I was trying to recreate my original set, and I think it came out even better. The original set, again, I winged it and just out of the top of my head, but I really, really enjoyed these colors. They came out really, really cute, really pretty, and I actually had some crystals that matched, like some yellow crystals that match with it, and some Swarovskis, and I actually ended up putting those on there as well. So yeah, here I started with the pink, because I started looking at the other set and noticed that I did have a lot more pink in it. So I started turning. I started this hand with more pink and see what I can do. So yeah, just keep on watching. So right here, I'm still kind of like battling it. And just keep working the acetone on the nail and see if and trying to get as close as I can to the original nails. Now, the original nails that I'm talking about, it was one of my press-on sets that I have done before, and my friend fell in love with them, and so she wanted me to recreate them. Now, as you can see, I'm putting them side to side, and again, I just keep working it until um it they look kind of like similar. Now, it was a really it's not as easy, due to, and it's kind of weird because you would figure, I'm using the same three colors, why is it not coming out the same? But again, it's just a matter of, how much acetone you're putting on the nail and the blending that you're doing. So, and this one's a little bit like sporadic, kind of like colors I wanted to do. Usually when you put a certain amount of Sharpie on the nail, on one corner, on top, on the bottom, you would want to blend them individually, each color separately, so they won't mix as much. But with this design, again, I wanted them to mix. I really, really did. And so that I can get the original color. And so, as you can see, I'm still working it and working it until I try to get as close to the top ones and as close as to the original color of the set. So I got pretty close. One of the things that I did do at the end was, and I've done it before, sometimes they're a little bit off, and so I really can't change it anymore once they're set. I mean, if you keep messing and keep messing and continuously messing with it too much, the acetone eventually will start eating the nail tip, and we don't want that, of course. And so what I decided to do was, I started taking the one I originally did and started changing a little bit of the color to make it look more like the other one. And then you would look at the set itself when you're all done with the blending, and then you can switch nails. If it's the same size on both hands, then I would put maybe like switch the two thumbs, or maybe switch the middle finger, and then so that it'll all blend together nicely. And you know it almost ends up being like as if you did that on purpose, like each color um on each hand were meant to be together. It's kind of hard to explain, but if you can understand, so yeah, like one hand could be lighter than the other, so I switched different fingers, and you'll be able to, it'll make it look like I intentionally wanted this finger to be lighter and the other one to be darker by switching I mean, it's just I guess it's a little bit hard to explain, but I believe I do you will see me switch them, but I think I do it after I finish the whole set and before I put the crystals. So yeah, just keep on watching. But on here, I'm sorry, but here I wanted to do some lining with the gold on top of the polish, the gel. I'm sorry, on top of the Sharpie. And I started pretty much just making lines with the gold. I love this gold. It's from Madame Glam, and it's super super bright. It really made the nail. And I'm using one of the art brushes. I actually got these in Amazon. I believe I did, and they're super good. They've been really good to me, and they've lasted so long. I think I've had these for like 2 years now. And so yeah, I'm pretty much working in the lines, the gold lines on top of the marbling effect. And later on you will see me switching up the nails because they are the same size on both hands. Okay, keep on watching. Now, I pretty much dried the gold lines that I did. I believe I put 30 seconds, and now I'm applying the gel top coat by Madam Glam. It's another one that I use. I use different types of top coats. They all work good for me. Not polish, gloss it. I use Madam Glam top coat. I use D&D. So they pretty much all work pretty good for me. They're all super good. And so yeah, I'm topping it now with top coat. Now before um we move on, I just wanted to give you a little tip. I mean, this is something that I have gone through when doing the marbling with the Sharpies. They tend to run even though you leave them out to dry, because you do want to leave a few minutes of for the set to dry, the Sharpie to dry completely, obviously, because once you put the top coat on, if it's not fully dry, the Sharpie, it will smear and just look so horrible, and it's not good. So when you put on the top coat, you have to make sure that the Sharpie is completely dry, and that you put a thin layer, not too thin, because that's when you also can start smearing it. You want to have a good amount of, top coat onto your brush, and just kind of glide it down gently onto the nail. You do not want to roughly slide down the gel polish onto the nail, because it will smear it. I've ran into situations where, yeah, the Sharpie has dried, and I do it so rough that it will smear the marmaling. So you have to gently put a light coat onto the nail. And the faster that you can put it into the light, the better. And so here you see me switching them back and forth so that the colors will blend a little bit, So um, to my visual eye, everybody else was saying it pretty much they all look the same. But to my visual eye, I felt like one hand was lighter than the other. And so that's when I decided to switch them. Like the thumbs, I started switching them, and then I believe it was the pinky or the middle finger. So yeah, just make sure that you do a nice thick, thin coat onto the nail. And again, it's put them onto the light as fast as you can, because the top coat will start settling in, and it could move the marbling that you just created. Remember, it is just Sharpie. And so that really worked for me. As soon as the fastest I can put it under the light for it to dry, the better. The design will stay. And so here I'm using Zule glue, and I'm able to use the Zule glue on top of the top coat. It's something definitely that I love to do with my press-ons, and I can never ever find a glue that I can do that with, until I found this glue. This glue is super super awesome. Um, I just started using it about 6 months ago, and it made my life so much better because I just have to put on the top coat, and then I just apply the crystals. Even with matte polish, I've learned to use the brush. Even though it's a pretty thick brush, I still learn to use the brush really really thinly. You can also use another brush, but I try not to use anything else coming out that's outside the bottle. I don't want to contaminate the glue itself. So I try to use the brush that it came with. And again, I learned how to use the brush, even though it's a pretty big thick brush, and I can actually apply the crystals with very very small amounts, and that's pretty much all you need. This glue is so awesome. I haven't had no complaints, and that includes myself. None of my crystals come off, even when they're applied onto the top coat. Um, and so yeah, it worked out. Here I put some color crystals and some clear and also some iridescent crystals on just the middle finger. I thought that was just enough for this set, due to it had a lot going on, and I sometimes, simpler is better. And so yeah, it pretty much turned out good. I was pretty happy with it. I did struggle a little bit. I guess it's because I was trying to recreate a marbling. Not all marbling usually comes out the same. Again, you have to work at it until you're happy with it. So yeah, I pretty much started putting on my other crystals, and I do apologize for not having the camera right onto where I was working on. Sometimes I have to get really close to what I'm doing due to my vision loss. So I do suffer from MS, and it looks like it's starting to take a little bit of my vision, not alone that I'm older. So yeah, I have to kind of like move the nail towards my eyes a little bit closer, and I did not want to block the camera. So I do apologize for that again. But yeah, it worked out pretty good. And so I will show you the final result of the nails. And thank you for watching my video, and there will be more videos coming up very soon. As you guys know, I upload either acrylic videos or press-on videos. I love doing both, and so you're most welcome to watch my videos, and maybe hopefully you learned a little bit from them. Okay, thank you guys. Just keep on watching for the final result. Bye.